Episode 2 of Becoming Her: Success That Doesn't Feel Like Success. If you are a woman who has worked incredibly hard to build a stable, successful life, and you still feel completely tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix it, I want you to know that most executive, successful women feel the same. And it doesn't mean that you are broken. Most of the women that I work with have worked with in corporate America, work with within my coaching business. They don't come to me because their lives are falling apart. They come to me because everything looks fine, but they don't feel fine. They don't feel fulfilled. They don't feel satisfied. Their glass is not filled up. They're functioning, they're performing, and they are producing. But inside, something feels off. Something feels heavy. You may wake up already, feeling braced for the day, and like maybe you went through your phone and start looking at emails and such before your feet hit the floor. Your mind is running through everything, waiting for you. And what is that? Meetings, decisions, emails, family, problems that maybe you haven't solved yet. Not because you're anxious, it's because you are freaking responsible. Responsibility rewires your nervous system. And what it does is it's constantly scanning. So when people say, try to relax, it can feel overwhelming. Relaxing isn't a skill you lost. It's a state that your body hasn't experienced in a very long time. Another thing that I really hear constantly from executive women is I don't feel excited about anything anymore. I'm not depressed. I'm not hopeless. I just feel like blah. I feel flat. I don't feel fulfilled. And I don't know why. And I feel so ungrateful for feeling this, but I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. Why do you feel ungrateful for why you feel the way you feel? Is you feeling ungrateful because maybe you want something better for yourself? Is it another job? Is it maybe how about stepping away from corporate America and starting your own company? Is it you want to make more money? Is it that maybe you don't even want an executive position? You want to step down and start enjoying your life where you're not in the everyday hustle and bustle. That don't feel guilty of that. How about you? Maybe you finished something big. It could be a major project, a big milestone. Maybe you had a difficult quarter. Maybe you had different crisis instead of joy. Relief, the pressure is over. Like if you feel relief, that means the pressure is over. And then almost immediately, the next pressure arrives. So you go through all these milestones. You finish all the projects. You went through the difficult quarter, and then you feel joy, and then you feel relief. And then the relief felt like the pressure was over. And then a new month happens, starts over, and you're starting that pressure all over again. So success doesn't feel like celebration anymore. It feels like what? It feels like maintenance. You're not chasing goals anymore. You're sustaining a machine that cannot afford to fail. That machine is you. Let's talk about what you feel after the daily hustle and bustle. Let's talk about the evenings. You finally stop working, or at least stop answering the messages, and you sit down. Instead of feeling relaxed, you feel restless. You can't enjoy watching a movie with your significant other, your kids, your husband, your wife. Your body is completely exhausted and tired, and your mind is still moving. So you pick up what? You pick up the phone. You start scrolling through it. You're checking the emails. Look at nothing in particular. You're just scrolling. Not because it's fun. It's because it's easier just sitting with the of everything that you've been carrying that day. Then you get ready to go to bed and didn't even enjoy the day. And tomorrow looks the same, right? You're putting your head on the pillow and you're tossing and turning, thinking what tomorrow's going to look like. And then you're thinking, I don't want tomorrow to come. Here's something that almost no one says out loud to themselves. Success often removes freedom before it creates it. Your time becomes a schedule. Your decisions carry consequences. People depend on you staying completely consistent. You may miss the feeling of being off duty for a minute, or maybe not needed, not responsible, not monitoring everything, just existing. And when that feeling is gone long enough, you forget what it felt like. And another hidden cost of success is that your world gets quieter. Fewer people tell you the truth when it gets quieter. Fewer people challenge you when it gets quieter. Fewer places where you can admit are uncertain. So you hold it all together, even when you're sick and tired, even when you're unsure, even when you wish someone else could take the lead for a little while. And because you handle the things so well, people assume you don't need the support. Competence makes you invisible in your own struggle. Now, here's the part that I want you to hear very clearly. You are not tired because you are weak. You're tired because you've been strong for a very long time with every little true recovery for yourself. Reset is not the same as recovery. And you can sleep 8 hours and still wake up completely exhausted, depleted. If your nervous system never fully powers down because you don't allow it. Recovery happens when your body feels safe enough to stop scanning. You know that? You need to start taking care of yourself. For many high-level women, that rarely happens for you to just stop, relax, shut down. So what actually helps? Not a new planner, not waking up early, not adding more discipline. Most executive women don't feel needed. They don't need more effort, actually. Most executive women do not need more effort. What do they need? They need relief. So relief comes from reducing the load, not optimizing performance. Don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel for everything. Don't feel like, oh my goodness, I watched this webinar, listened to this webinar, I listened and watched this YouTube, and this executive says this, that executive does this, and oh my gosh, everything sounds so good. And maybe you're not implementing it now because you're so busy in the day to day that you start reaching for the stars. What will make me feel fulfilled, happy, not so stressed, relieved, right? For example, one client of mine realized that she hadn't had a single day in months where no one asked her for something. So we created one protected hour each weekend where she was unreachable unless there was an emergency. And boy, was that hard. It was. Because at first it felt uncomfortable. Then it became part of her week to restore herself, not because of what she did during that hour, because she wasn't needed. That distinction matters. Another powerful shift is acknowledging that not everything requires your personal involvement, because high performers often continue doing things simple because they're capable of doing them, not because they should. So I want you to ask yourself, if you were to stop doing this, what would actually happen? Not what you feel would happen, but what would actually happen? What would realistically happen? You may discover that some of the responsibilities persist only because you haven't released them. How about maybe you probably put all of the pressure on you? Maybe you're a leader that micromanages everything, that you need to know everything that's going on. So everyone's coming to you at once, or not just at once, but all the time, because you feel like you have to be into everything in order for you to do your job, be it as a manager, executive, or whoever you are in your position. Don't feel that you have to do it all. And if you are at a higher level, it doesn't mean that if you're not constantly busy and in the weeds all day long, and that people are not like constantly coming to you, it doesn't mean that you're not valuable anymore. It means that you're doing your job as a leader. You're delegating, you're training, you're overseeing, you're acknowledging. There's a laundry list of things. I also want to talk about the pressure to be grateful. Many women feel guilty admitting that success doesn't feel as good as they expected. They think, I have so much, I shouldn't complain. That's where the guilt feels. You feel guilty. And then you're saying to yourself, I feel guilty because I want to make this change. But then you're saying to yourself, I don't feel grateful. But wanting peace is not complaining. Wanting space is not ingratitude, right? Wanting to enjoy life is not selfish. It is human and it is okay. If this episode is hitting home for you, here's something simple I want you to try tonight. When you finish your day, I want you to pause before you move into the next thing. I want you to put both feet on the floor. Take a slow, deep breath and say, even slightly, nothing is required of me for the next 5 minutes. Not forever, ladies, just for 5 minutes. Most women tell me those 5 minutes feel surprisingly emotional or claiming, or unfamiliar, because your body finally receives permission to stand down for 5 minutes. Take the small steps. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's so much more behind all of this that is so powerful, that works, because I am the testament of that. I would never teach and coach and mentor any of my clients for something that I personally have not experienced. You don't need a different life, ladies. You don't. You need moments inside your life where you are not carrying everything. And those moments are not luxuries. They are maintenance for the human being behind the role, and that is you. In the next episode, we're going to talk about something that often drives relentless pace, right? The belief that no matter what you accomplish, it is never quite enough. Why is that? Because when that belief is operating, success will never feel satisfied, only temporary. And for now, I want you to remember this. You are not failing at success. You are not experiencing the cost of sustained responsibilities without significant relief. And you don't have to earn relief by burning yourself out. You're allowed to step out of the constant performance. You are allowed to regroup and do that self-reflection for yourself and figure out, what do I need to change? I just need to change one thing. What is that clarity? What is it that you want to change? Not because you've earned it, because you need it. And because the woman you are becoming requires it. I hope this episode resonated with you. And if it did, please share it with a friend. This is episode 2 out of 10. We have so much more to talk about. And I also have exciting news that we will be holding Becoming Her webinar. I don't have the specific date just yet, but we are working on it. We've been working on it for quite some time. So stay tuned. Please pass along this episode. Share it with a friend. Give me a thumbs up. I would love beautiful ratings that keeps my podcast moving forward. Again, with much love, much hugs, Nancy.